It was a sunny morning in a small rural town in the United States where the sky was clear and the aroma of fresh coffee danced in the air. Agnes Thompson, a 78-year-old woman, walked slowly through the local park, admiring the flowers and chatting with her neighbors. Her white hair was tied into an unassuming bun, and her thick-rimmed glasses accentuated her gentle appearance. Agnes wore a gold ring with a small diamond, a gift from her grandmother that had been passed down from generation to generation. It was a symbol of their heritage and difficult times overcome. However, while she was standing next to a bench, two police officers approached, interrupting her tranquility. "Good morning, ma'am. We received a report about a stolen ring that was seen on an elderly lady," the officer said, his expression serious. Agnes was surprised and confused. I didn't steal anything, officer. This ring belongs to my family," she replied, her voice shaking. The officers asked to see the ring. With hesitation, Agnes removed it from her finger. They watched the diamond shine in the sunlight and took notes. "Are you sure this isn't the ring you're looking for?" the second officer asked, his gaze intense. Agnes explained that the ring was a gift from her grandmother and that it had been with her through the decades. But tension was growing, and the appearance of the police caused the small town to begin murmuring about the situation. The news quickly spread. The day was slowly passing by as Agnes tried to get back to her normal routine. She felt restless and anxious. The weight of the situation seemed to crush his heart. It was impossible for her to imagine that something as trivial as a ring could cause such an uproar. Later, she met up with her longtime friend, Clara, at the local cafe. Agnes tried to remain calm, but her eyes revealed concern. Clara, always an attentive listener, noticed Agnes's discomfort. "Agnes, what's going on? I heard rumors about a ring and the police," Clara asked, with a worried expression. Agnes hesitated, but the need to vent was great. "Clara, many years ago, I witnessed something I never told anyone about. Something that involved a crime, and the ring I wear is the only connection I have to that part of my life." Clara listened intently as Agnes began to reveal a painful part of her past. She explained that when she was young, she had seen a crime that involved someone dear to her, someone whose life was marked by a difficult choice and a secret that Agnes decided to protect. The ring represented that choice and the burden she had carried ever since. The impact of Agnes' confession began to spread throughout the city. The police, after hearing Agnes' words, decided to investigate further. Her story seemed complex and full of secrets. Officers went to the sheriff's office to discuss the case. They revealed that the ring found in Agnes' possession was a key piece in a robbery investigation that had been underway for months. The ring had been reported to be part of a batch of jewelry stolen during a major robbery at a nearby mansion. Meanwhile, Agnes was at home, trying to deal with the growing tension. His thoughts were with the past and the choices he had made. She remembered the days when she tried to protect someone, even though she knew it meant carrying a painful secret. That same night, Agnes's phone rang. It was a call from the police office. One of the officers wanted to speak to her in person. The meeting was scheduled for the next day, and Agnes felt a chill down her spine. She knew the truth was about to come out in ways she never could have predicted. The next morning, Agnes prepared for the meeting with the police with a mix of nervousness and determination. She knew the moment was approaching, and the weight of the secret she carried felt more intense than ever. With her heart racing, she put on her best dress and went to the police station. When she arrived, she found officers waiting for her in an interrogation room, an environment that seemed out of place for a woman who spent her days gardening. Detective Miller, a man of imposing stature with a sharp gaze, stood at the head of the group. "Good morning, Mrs. Thompson. Thank you for coming," Miller began, his deep voice echoing in the room. "We would like to clarify some points about the ring you have." Agnes sat at the table, trying to maintain her composure. Miller began asking detailed questions about her life and about the ring, which was now evident as a crucial item of interest in the robbery investigation. As Agnes responded, she felt the pressure building. Detective Miller seemed to absorb every word, his expressions changing as he delved deeper into the investigation. There was something unsettling about the way he scrutinized her answers. Then Miller asked an unexpected question. "Are there any other details about the lady's past that we should know? Something that could be related to the ring or the robbery?" Agnes hesitated, feeling the weight of the words she was about to say. There's something I've never told anyone. Something that involves my youth and a difficult choice I made. This ring represents a secret I've carried for a long time. Miller watched her with a penetrating gaze. We need to know everything you know. Secrecy could be the key to solving this case. After the interrogation, Agnes was at home, trying to process what she had just revealed. The pressure was enormous, and she felt overwhelmed. She decided she needed to confront her past once and for all. That same day, she began looking for old documents and letters that could help her clarify the situation. With each paper he looked at, old memories resurfaced. Agnes found a letter hidden in a drawer, correspondence from years ago that mentioned the crime she had witnessed and the person involved. As she reviewed the letter, a picture from the past began to form in her mind. It was a name she hadn't mentioned before, a person who had been involved in the original robbery and who, surprisingly, was now linked to the current case. Determined to resolve the situation, Agnes decided to meet with Clara, her trusted friend, to discuss what she had discovered. Clara listened carefully and, after hearing the story, began to connect the dots. Agnes, this changes everything. If the person you knew in the past is involved now, there could be more people involved than we realize, Clara said worriedly. We should take this to the police and report their findings. The next morning, Agnes and Clara went to the police station to report their new discoveries. Tensions were high, and the city was buzzing with rumors and speculation about the case. When they arrived, they found Miller, who was eager to hear what Agnes had to say. He led her to a meeting room where they would discuss the new evidence. Mr. Miller, I found an old letter that could be related to the case. It mentions a name and a detail that could connect the robbery to the past, Agnes said, handing the letter to the detective. Miller read the letter carefully, his gaze deepening on each word. After finishing, he got up and quickly started making phone calls. The situation was becoming more complex than anyone imagined, and Miller was determined to solve the case. Soon, a team of investigators began working to verify the new information. They began to unravel a broader conspiracy involving multiple individuals and a network of crimes that spanned years. The city was in suspense, with everyone waiting to see how the situation would unfold. Agnes, now at the center of the investigation, was feeling the weight of her past choices and the responsibility to right old wrongs. As the truth began to emerge, tension in the city increased, and everyone was eager to discover the truth behind the ring and the conspiracy that was about to be fully revealed. Agnes was at home, anxiously awaiting news from investigators. The city was in a frenzy of speculation and discussion about the revealed conspiracy. The pressure was on, and she knew the truth was about to come out. Detective Miller contacted Agnes, informing her that a major turn of events had occurred. The investigation revealed a network of theft and corruption that spanned years, involving several influential people in the city. The ring, in fact, was linked to a series of crimes that had gone unnoticed for decades. Miller explained that the person mentioned in Agnes' letter was actually one of the leaders of the conspiracy. The letter provided crucial clues to locate documents and evidence that incriminated this person and his accomplices. With this information, the police were able to dismantle the criminal network and arrest those responsible. Agnes was relieved and, at the same time, emotionally exhausted. The truth was finally being revealed, and the weight he had been carrying had begun to lift. However, there was still an important part of the story that needed to be completed: Agnes's role in justice and the community's response. The trial of those involved in the conspiracy began in a large courtroom. The entire city was attentive, following every detail of the case that had affected everyone's lives. Agnes, now a central figure in the story, was preparing to testify. In court, Miller presented evidence linking the defendants to theft and corruption. Agnes' statements, as well as the documents found, were fundamental to the outcome of the case. Agnes' story of the crime she witnessed and the difficult choices she made over the years brought a human and emotional perspective to the proceedings. The accused were convicted, and justice was finally served. The trial not only brought relief to Agnes, but also to the city, which now felt a sense of closure and reparation. With the conclusion of the trial, the city began to recover from the scars left by the conspiracy. Agnes, now a symbol of courage and truth, decided to use her experience to help others. She began working with local organizations to promote justice and support those, like her, who have fallen on hard times. The city held a ceremony in honor of Agnes, recognizing her crucial role in solving the case and her contribution to the community. She received a plaque of thanks and words of recognition from many citizens. Despite all the tension and difficulties, Agnes found a new purpose in her life. She continued gardening and crocheting, but was now also involved in activities that promoted integrity and justice. The ring, once a symbol of a painful secret, has become a reminder of the power of truth and the importance of facing the past. The city returned to a peaceful routine, but with a new sense of community and responsibility. Agnes, with her strength and courage, had shown that even in the most challenging circumstances, truth and justice can prevail. And so, the story of Agnes Thompson, an elderly woman whose life was marked by secrets and courage, ended with an ending that brought light and hope to everyone around her.